Today we're gonna look at some really cool uses of a really cool chord. Hey, it's Andrew Huang. A few months ago, I made a video about this chord. So that is a normal major chord, but on top of it is another major chord that is an octave and a tone above. So in this case, D flat major and E flat major. Beautiful sound, but I've rarely heard it used in pieces of music, so I wanted to put it out there to see what people would do with it. And at the end of this video, you're gonna hear some absolutely wild music that was made by some subscribers to this channel. Before that though, I wanted to share a few approaches that I took to trying to use this chord. The first is the song you just heard, where that chord is playing half the time. I've actually got the E flat hanging out on top of every chord in that progression. So I'm playing this F minor with the E flat major on top, making for a minor 11? Yes, music theory. For the second chord in the progression, I move the bottom chord up to a G minor, and then the final chord is our special chord, moving the left hand to the D flat major there. And then for a little variation, I move it up as well to this inversion, so that when we come back to the F minor, just this D flat needs to move down to that C. So there were a couple things I was thinking about when coming up with this chord progression, and the first is that I wanted to use that chord as the fourth degree. This chord degree is the only place where all of these notes actually fit into a regular major or minor key. Because the chord has 6 notes, major and minor scales only have 7 notes, so if I'm playing this chord with the root on D flat, there is only one possible key that it can be in. A flat major has all of those notes. Well, so does its relative minor, F minor. They're effectively the exact same thing, music theory. 2 other things help me fit this complex chord into a piece of music more smoothly, and that is that I made all the other chords kind of complex as well. Every chord in the progression has a lot of extensions, and so it fits in that way. But then also, I just was experimenting and kept that E flat major triad shape on top the whole time. So it's kind of like a pedal tone. I don't know, is the definition of a pedal tone that it's like a note that stays on the bottom and never changes? But it's like a pedal upper triad. And so with those notes just always being there, it kind of gives it this extra glue of like, yeah, these chords all belong together. So that was my thinking about how to use this chord in this context, and I will do a separate video that's like a deeper dive into that song, because I think there's a lot of fun and interesting stuff going on with it. But yeah, I'm planning to release that. It might be up by the time this video is up. Check the links in the description. If not, it's coming soon. Now we'll jump back in time a bit and take a look at a couple other approaches I tried with this chord. Sometimes when I'm tracking a guitar, I will layer an extra part of the guitar playing the same chords in different voicings. Like maybe I'll put a capo on and play something higher on top, or just use different chord fingerings, and that just fills out the sound in a nice way. So to take that a step further, I'm gonna play a chord progression normally, and then I'm gonna play the same chord progression with different voicings, like a different register on the guitar, but also move that chord progression a tone up so that we are always forming that special chord for every chord in this progression. Cool. Let's see what this sounds like. Have a feeling it might be awful. Sometimes they sound better than others. I don't know if that's different strings being out of tune, depending how hard I hit them, or like with the intonation on my guitar and all the different voicings I'm using. I think part of it is the timbre of the guitar and how many more competing harmonics there are compared to if you use simpler tones, which brings us to the next experiment that I had in mind. We're going ambient. So I've tuned 6 oscillators on the big synth to form this chord, although I'm doing a variation where the bottom major chord is gonna be the one that goes root, 5th, 3rd, just to space it out a bit and really reinforce that bottom root. Let's have a listen. So here's the bottom chord. And here's the top chord. Now I did these by ear, and so that means they're probably closer to just intonation. Like I just tried to get it as close as possible to not having any beats. Not like drum beats, but like the harmonics beating against each other. They sound pretty nice together. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You know, these knobs are like, you get a 10 octave range with one little knob. So what I'm gonna do now is have each of the notes slowly drift in and out in volume, all at different rates, and then I'll apply a whole bunch of spacious effects to everything to hopefully get to a place where this is like a beautiful, So the notes are now all dancing a little bit randomly. I'm modulating both their volume and their brightness. Here's what it sounds like before any effects. For effects, we're gonna use the hologram microcosm. You may have seen this in my videos before. Love this pedal, one of my all-time favorites, and Hologram actually got in touch recently, and they wanted to sponsor a segment where they said I could do whatever I wanted as long as it involved 4 microcosms. So I already had this one, and they sent me 3 more, and we're gonna connect them all together, run that patch through them. Hopefully they make it sound a lot better. I have faith that they will. I'm running out of creative ways to unbox things, so I think I'm just gonna open this. Whoa! This is a lot of microcosm, kind of excessive. This feels illegal, but it already sounds really good. I just set them to things that I thought would be okay, and I mean, it's so hard to go wrong with this pedal, honestly. So microcosm is like 11 pedals in one, because there's 11 different effect algorithms, and each one of those actually has 4 kind of different variations within it, different little presets. So it does a lot. On top of those algorithms, which are all like delaying and stuttering and pitch shifting and all kinds of stuff like that. On top of that, there's a filter and a reverb that you can apply to everything. So 4 of these stacked up is gonna be pretty wild. And I do have them in series. It's just one going into the next, into the next, into the next. I started with all the mix knobs at exactly halfway. I just felt like we want some of the original signal to come through, and then we want some of the other effects in there. I didn't really like that. It wasn't compelling. It was like you have the original stuff and then just a bunch of kind of random effects. There's no real sense of what to pay attention to. It was very blurry, which in a way you might think is kind of the point with ambient music, but I feel like it does have to be tastefully dialed in. You don't just want a complete wash of stuff. You want dynamics, you want some sense of space, you want some ebb and flow. So what I ended up doing was playing the mix knobs and a lot of the other parameters a lot, so different effects would come to the fore at different times, and that made it come alive a lot more. Going into this, what excited me about having 4 microcosms was that I could use multiple algorithms at the same time, but then I found I really liked what happened when I set 3 of them to the glide mode. This is one where there's like a bunch of pitch swoops. It's really satisfying because stuff kind of rises and falls but lands on a perfect pitch that's, you know, like the original tone or an octave above or below it. So having a few of those layered up turned out pretty cool. Also, it's rhythmic, like it's timed to whatever BPM the microcosm is set to, like you can tap tempo it or send it MIDI clock. So with those timed glides coming in, it kind of felt a bit more musical because there was some sort of rhythmic repetition for your ear to latch onto. All right, well, thank you to Hologram Electronics for letting this beautiful experiment come to be. Microcosm, so magical. All right, let's listen to some tunes. Does anybody feel like studying or relaxing right now? Ride that chord out. Oh, yeah. I thought it was lo-fi, but it's kind of future bassy. That's cool to have it hit this hard, but somehow still stay mellow. Using the chord as the 4th, so we have those suspended notes up there that are all in key. Really pretty guitar melody. Yeah, when you use this chord as the 4th, it just adds, it's this beautiful extended chord with all that, the longing that comes with not having resolution on multiple notes. Really nice and chill, yeah. Piano runs. Pretty. Whoa, yes. Love the space in this one. Great mellow drums. We got a beautiful vocal too. What? Yeah. I love everything about this. It's like chill, funky, atmospheric, jazzy, poppy, sound designy. What is happening on that side? What is that? So cool. Building so interestingly. There's like such a push and pull with these synths, like they really, ooh, yeah, cool. They really ebb and flow, man. masterful. Just all the variations in how the chords are being played and the different textures, modulations.
Can't wait till dawn. Is there something wrong? Can't wait.
Wow. That was so good. Oh my gosh, I'm including that whole song in this video. Okay. Those chords are cool. That's our chord. The only person doing metal for this challenge. Yo! These guitar tones are amazing. Like, they're real filthy, but I can hear the chords coming through. Yeah, this is heavy. This is sick. Great playing. Just using the chord as this bed to solo over, which again has this kind of floating, unresolved quality. But whatever is playing the chord, it sounds like maybe multiple layers of synths and maybe reverbed out other instruments. They're beautifully like alive and drifting and organic feeling. Cool. Cool crunchiness to the drums. That little fill was fun. Oh, now we got a sax? A trumpet? Oh, yeah, there's a real slow build-up in this. Nice. I love these like electronic touches with the percussion.
Because it's ephemeral. I got to enjoy it in the moment, just once, just me.
Did they sample?
And now it's gone.
They sampled me talking about modular synths. Yeah. That's an intro. There's the chord.
On my way to pay the day. At the door I stopped and met the summer air.
Nice syncopation.
The rain had washed it fresh and clean. Bottles speaking from the street.
I love the quality of the vocals here. There's interesting layering going on.
You know they looked up from the stair. A dozen rainbows laser bright, reflecting through the mist, revealing gold.
This is so cool. The like climbing thing, singing about rainbow lasers.
Is clear and light, the faintest
And like I don't know what scale is happening there. I feel like a couple notes are sharpened out of what I would have expected. Really beautiful stuff. What are these? The instrumentation is fascinating here. Like something harpy, and then all these like little metallic bits of percussion.
Well, never do I stop thinking. No. Cerebral panicking.
These vocals are so cool.
Refluxing. sound for Judith Sting.
Such interesting phrasing. Nice, nice. Wow. Just going ham on this sound design. Ooh, we got another, like, fun, edited vocal. Yeah, keep that syncopation going. This is so catchy. This one's from my friend Brent Petrie. We did an EP together. So, hi Brent. Ooh, it's a gorgeous atmosphere. Again, here the chord is just this like nice bed for everything to rest on. Really big sense of space. And that like big piano chord that comes in is so cool. Like, it's very tastefully done. I feel like there would be the temptation to kind of use it on each chord, but it acts as this stab, and now it's coming in for these interesting arps. All right. Getting diminished here. Oh yeah. Beautiful stuff. Nice work, Brent. Start off with the chord. Make it easy for me. Really cool, like, chopping between different chord voicings. Love all these synth sounds. What? This is so cool. Love all this highly rhythmic stuff. And obviously, and that really cool vocal sounding lead thing. And these arps are amazing. Wow. People really love these Owl City style vocals for this challenge. This is great. Real catchy melody. Love the fast beat contrasting with the very mellow chords. Cool textures. Hyper. This percussion is real sharp and zingy. Fun syncopation. Really interesting textures here. fun vocal chop things. Oh yeah. We going Aphexy? Really fun drum programming. Oh, these chord choices are far out. Oh, was that it? Yeah. I think, again, yeah. Just one weird chord among many is the approach. That was Journey. I can't believe how much talent there is in my audience. Thank you guys for sharing that. Thanks for taking part of that challenge. I will link to everybody who I featured in the description of the video. Hope you enjoyed this. I know this video had a lot of different things in it. Love to hear your thoughts on any of this. Leave a comment, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.